This is Mujib from North Country Kettlebells. Today I'm going to be talking about Kettlebell Hand Switch Swings and the components that go into doing them safely and effectively. Now, one of the greatest benefits of the Kettlebell Hand Switch Swing is that it helps us become very familiar with switching hands from one side to the other very consistently and very smoothly. So if I'm thinking about doing a set of snatches or a set of clean and presses or anything where one side of my body is going to be getting fatigued during my set, when I go to switch sides from that working side to the opposite side, I want that switch to be as even as possible, and I want that switch to also be as smooth and as confident as possible. The best way to transition into being smooth and comfortable with our hand switches is to practice the hand switch as a movement unto itself. So as far as the components with our hand switch swings go, the main mechanic of all of my kettlebell swings are going to be identical when I look at the hand switch. So my hips are still coming to full extension at the top, powering the movement, still keeping the kettlebell above my knees on my backswing. I'm still making sure that my chest is up, that my balance is even from one side to the other and forward and back, and I'm making sure that all of these things are coordinated through each movement and my body is staying engaged and my core is staying engaged with each rep. Other components of my hand switch are going to be found in my one-handed swing. Things like keeping my elbow extended at the backswing or tracking the kettlebell with my non-working hand. Both of those components are going to play right into the hand switches. Even more so with the tracking hand, because I've already taught my hand to be present at the top of my swing, and so it's very easy for me to just transition from one hand to the other at the top of that swing. Now, that's going to be our second component that's going to be specific to the hand switches, and that's where I'm going to transition the kettlebell from one hand to the other. I'm going to work on consistently always switching hands at the top of my kettlebell swing, thinking that at that total apex of my swing, there's going to be a moment where that kettlebell is weightless. I want to take advantage of that weightless moment and switch hands at that time, making sure to switch hands before the kettlebell starts changing directions and falling back down. I can almost imagine that I'm finishing one swing right into the opposite hand. This becomes important because if we start switching hands while the kettlebell is dropping, it's a lot harder to stay consistent. Not only that, but there might be more danger if my timing gets thrown off that kettlebell is going to yank me down at the shoulder or yank my back or yank my neck out of place. So if I'm switching while that kettlebell is weightless, then I'm easily transferring all of the focus from one side to the other, and then I'm easily transferring all of my engagement to that now working side before I go into my backswing. So I'm engaging with each movement and I'm going into the next movement with that same level of engagement. The next component with my hand switches is going to be consistency, and that means consistency in the way that I'm changing hands. I like to utilize a half rotation switch so that at the top of each swing, both of my thumbs are pointing up, and just like I was clapping my hands or playing a tambourine, I'm basically transferring that kettlebell right from one hand into the other and then going back into my backswing. That leads us into our final component with the hand switch, and that's maintaining full control of the movement the entire time. That means that as I let go of that kettlebell, it's not starting to float away from me and get out of my control. It means that my hand switches are always nice and smooth so that I'm not fumbling that switch on the way up, and that each one of my back swings is also fully under control. Main thing is just control the kettlebell. When I'm letting go of that kettlebell, it should be weightless and it should be floating around my body versus letting it go and it just flying away from me when I let it go. So again, full control of our hand switches is going to lead into full control of our cleans, full control of our snatches when we go from one side to the other. So practicing full control of the hand switch is a major, major component. Basic rep counts with my hand switches might be as many as 10 reps. I can throw them together as a medley with my two-handed swings or my one-handed swings. By 10 reps, I mean basically switching hands each rep and counting each rep as one rep. So it might be a total of 5 swings on each side where I'm just switching hands each time and I'm counting every rep as one rep, 1, 2, 3, up to 10. Keep your sets pretty low as well, 3 to 5 sets. No need to gas yourself out when trying to practice these hand switches. As you're getting more advanced, you can throw them together as medleys. Try it out, see how you like it. Let me know how you feel about those hand switch swings. And as always, stay safe and effective with your training. This is Mujib from North Country Kettlebells talking about Kettlebell Hand Switch Swing.